Being and Non-Being in Occult Experience is a new series of books published by Atramentous Press and written by Ian C. Edwards. Ian C. Edwards, who's really proving himself to be one of the most formidable voices on the occult scene in this early 21st century. So this is a series that I wasn't particularly interested in picking up, but I'm so glad that I've had this opportunity to have a read, because I am really impressed with what I've been reading here. So let me see. There's one of my favorite quotations of all time. It comes from Angelus Silesius, who's actually a German priest from the 17th century, I guess. And he goes like this: God, whose love and joy are present everywhere, cannot come to visit you unless you are not there. And I really like that. That really strikes true to me, right? That this little ditty, this little poem. It's translated from the German, of course. And well, that's the concept that is explored in this series of, it will be 4 books. The 4th book will be from the perspective of Andrew Chumbly. But for the moment, what we have is Being and Non-Being in Occult Experience from the perspective of Aleister Crowley, from the perspective of Austin Osman Spare, and from the perspective of Kenneth Grant. So 3 extremely, and will be 4 extremely influential voices from the occult scene of the 20th century, right? And let's be honest, they together really have changed the whole scene of occultism through their work. So, Ian C. Edwards is writing about this concept of being and non-being, and of course, in order for there to be being, there has to be becoming, and for there to be becoming, there has to be non-being, right? So, this trilogy of states is what's being observed and approached through these 3 for the moment, will be 4 different authors. It's extremely cool stuff. Now, this is not an easy read. It's not an easy read, but this is what I'm going to say about that. There are two reasons why an author might choose to write in a difficult to approach way, or in a way that's not just super clear, right? The first reason, and this is not the case here, the first reason that I see a little bit too often is that the author has got no idea what he or she is talking about, and is trying to hide the fact with very flowery language. So we get, 2-page sentences, running into each other with no verb at any point, and it's just extremely confusing, using language that you need to look up in a dictionary when simpler language would have been far clearer. And it's just I don't know, it's just like an ego boost. I don't know. It's why people do it. Clearly, it's a lot of fun for the writer. It's not so much fun for the reader. This is not the case here. What we've got here is a topic that is extremely abstract, and the English language just isn't designed to talk about abstract stuff. It's just not. And so Ian C. Edwards is using this inappropriate tool, which is the English language, right, to share with us an abstract concept. So he's got this abstract concept, and he's getting the English language to kind of wrap around it, right? So he's stretching it in directions that it's not used to being stretched, in order to kind of help us to discern this abstract concept that he's pointing at. And he does it really well. But it's not an easy read. This really is an important thing to point out, because some of you may be thinking to yourself, oh, perfect, an introduction to the important occultists of the 20th century. And it's a fantastic introduction to those occultists of the 21st century, but it's doing them justice, right? It's not just saying, hey, he lived this time and he had some friends and this is the kind of things that he said and blah blah blah. No, the core of these occultists' ideas and relations to the concept of being a non-being and the and it's this concept's importance and its use in occult practice is very, very clearly defined here, very, very clearly and completely defined. It's extraordinary, actually, what Ian C. Edwards has done in this series so far, and I really, really cannot wait for this fourth volume on Andrew Chumbley to come out, because just because of how terrific the work is. All right, let's talk a little bit maybe about the construction of the books. Some of you watching Foolish Fish book reviews come to see what the construction of the books are like. As you can see, this is printed board cover, and the kinds of things that happen to a glossy printed board cover, happen. That's exactly what you can expect. But the thing is that this printed board has kept the price of these at an affordable level. There aren't a huge number of these being printed. There are 333 in this standard edition, and there's a deluxe edition if you like that, and if you can afford that, of course, in black goat leather with gold foil blocking to front and spine in the usual beautiful quality and design that Atramentous Press usually produce. But even this standard edition still comes with a really nice silk ribbon in red for the volumes 1 and 3, and in purple for volume 2, and head and tail bands, and you can see that they are Smith sewn. It's no print on demand nonsense here. I'm being very, very, very elitist here, aren't I? But yes, it is Smith sewn. It's very nice quality stuff, and it's just bound with this board to make it affordable. So I'm trying to think if I've got anything further to say about this. It really is. I've thoroughly enjoyed reading this. It is something that you need to be prepared to sit down and work out, because, as I say, the author is talking about a concept that needs to be outlined and defined. Right? You can't just use words that everybody knows to talk about the stuff here, because he needs to be talking to you from the perspective of experience, and with such an abstract concept, then experience isn't necessarily to be taken for granted, right? He really does have to outline it. But given a little patience, this is fantastic stuff, and as I say, if you've got the patience to sit down and read it in the way for what it is, then this is an extraordinary introduction to these occultists. Absolutely extraordinary. I really like the fact that the style is kind of in the style of each of the occultists presented here. So we've got Aleister Crowley here, specifically on the book of the law, and then of course we've got Austin Osman Spare, who was a draftsman, yes, and Carolyn Hamilton has produced a number of beautiful illustrations for this volume. Right, makes good sense given that Austin Osman Spare was an artist, and a lot of his work was presented through the medium of art, and then finally Kenneth Grant, of course, in the style of Kenneth Grant's work, right, with these comments at the end and so on. And even the designs of each book, of course, absolutely fit the three occultists that are being discussed. This if I didn't know who the occultists being discussed were for each book, I would certainly bet that this one was Kenneth Grant, and this one was Austin Osman Spare, and this one was Aleister Crowley, right? So yeah, just care on every level, which is really nice. The only down point for me being these glossy covers, which I personally don't like, but I can appreciate them being used in order to make the books affordable to a wider public. Very, very cool stuff. There we go. That's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the like button. Really appreciate anyone who does that. That really helps the channel. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, don't forget to hit the little bell button so that you actually get to see the videos that I post, if you actually want to see the videos that I post. And then finally, if you'd like to support the channel, then there's a Patreon which gets all kinds of cool little perks. I encourage you to go and check out the links down in the description and in the pinned comment. Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely day, evening, morning, wherever you are, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.